Hello, and as always, thank you so very much for joining me. It keeps stopping and starting with rain, so rather than get partway through a recording and having to move inside, I thought I would just do the recording inside. And I want to talk a little bit about responsibility. I know I've covered it recently, but this is sort of a slightly different angle on it. And yes, I do endeavour to accept responsibility for what I say. And as I've said before, I wouldn't say some of the stuff, and I wouldn't say some of the stuff in the comments if I wasn't a counsellor. And the things I do, I have to accept responsibility. Stop sawing sooner than I would in the past, because I know these old bones start to creak after a while. I still get there, but at my own pace. Whoops! And my microphone's just done a slip. Oh, there we are. Behave. Okay, I shall sit with my thumb on it. No. There we are. Okay. I don't like clipping it onto clothes because it puts them all askew. So I shall sit doing a thumbs up. Anyway, back to responsibility. I recorded yesterday out on walking and went to get my car after its MOT. And as I arrived at the MOT place, there was a loud bang. And I thought, that's not come from this car that's being worked on. That must be from mine in its MOT. Yes, there'd been, now, I'm probably going to get this wrong. The pipe to the brakes had burst. So not only did it fail its MOT, but it's not drivable. So it's sitting in the garage. So I got the bit of shopping out of the boot and I walked home. And I'd said to a friend that I was going to go round to hers on my way home. So of course I walked round. And she'd said, because she was going to pop round in the afternoon because she'd got me these beautiful flowers. So when I got there, she said, well, where's the car? So I explained. Why didn't you call us? I said, well, I've got two legs. I can walk and it's not a problem. Yes, but we could have come and collected you. I said, I know, but you're busy, you're decorating, you're gardening. I'm fine. And for me, this is important, that I would never misuse the friends that I have. And I told two others about my car, and their instant reaction was, well, just let us know if you need anything. And I know that I could call on them, but I would rather save that for if it was a proper emergency or something that I really couldn't do on my own. So that's just me. Okay, Mrs. Independent, I suppose. But that's the way I've always been. I've always had to be. Anyway, it goes with a story from well before I moved over here to live. When my ex-husband was in the Falklands, and he'd been one of the pilots to take the first three Phantoms down from UK to Stanley. And he hadn't been much of a gardener. Hadn't been anything of a gardener. So life had carried on. We'd only just moved into the house that we were in. So I had been wallpapering, making curtains, getting the whole house sorted. And I met up with one of the other wives whose husband had gone down. And the squadron had very kindly said, if you need anything doing, let us know. So she said, oh, I had to have the squadron round. I said, oh, did you? She said, yes, there were leaves on the lawn. Okay. So she actually had two mid-teens sons as well as herself being able-bodied. But she said, have you had anybody round to help? I said, no. Oh, haven't you done anything? No, I've only decorated so many rooms, made so many pairs of curtains, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and scraped the leaves off my lawn. I couldn't resist that last one. But I've never been helpless. But I'm not afraid to ask for help, and nobody should be. It is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it's a sign of strength if you can say, look, I really need help. Could you please come to my aid? When people know that it's not abused, then hopefully they don't think, oh, not her again. I do keep it to be as an infrequent request as possible, but I don't see it as a failure. It's usually something that I can't physically do or is beyond my capability. Handle on the window dropped off one evening. Call my friend, her husband came straight down because I could not lock the window, couldn't close the window. And there's no way I was going to bed with a window downstairs that wasn't closed and locked. So he said, right, you've got a choice. You can have it like this, or you can have it properly locked and not be opened. I said, let's go for that until I get somebody in to sort it. So he happily did that. And I was so grateful. So don't be afraid to ask for help, but don't go all, a wilting Winnie, as my mum used to say, and I could never understand that because she was called Winnie. But anybody who sort of had the vapours, as they used to have in Victorian days, if they weren't able to do something, a wilting Winnie there. Okay, thank you for listening, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be put off by what I've just said. You take care, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.